Deputy Director General, Department of Telecommunications. Shri Surjit Karthikeyan, Deputy Secretary, Department of Financial Services. Shri Mayank, Scientist and Joint Director, Digital Payment Division, MeitY. Dr. V.N. Sastry, Professor and Head, 5G Use Case Lab, IDRBT. CUB team members, members of the press, other guests who have assembled here, hearty welcome to all of you. As you all know, though City Union Bank is the oldest listed private sector bank in the country, touching its 120th birthday this year, it stays young always by adapting new technologies and customer enrichment. We have seen first in the Indian banking industry on so many technology innovation implementations, like we implemented Robo CUB Lakshmi, first time in the Indian banking industry to serve our customers. Similarly, we were the first to implement multilingual chatbot as the part of mobile banking app. We introduced wearable debit card first in the form of keychain and wristwatch, which are very handy and making payment at PAS terminals using near field communication. We were the first one to launch this through wearable. And also we were first to launch, one of the first to launch UPI 123 Pay, the application for rural penetration of digital payments and basic phone users as a part of financial inclusion initiative. We are one of the first to introduce interoperable cardless withdrawal for withdrawal of cash from ATMs without the card using QR code. Similarly, we were one of the first among few selected banks as the part of RBI Innovation Hub for digitizing 15G, 15H submission by customers through WhatsApp and ATM. In continuation of our technological innovations services what we give to our own customers, we got an opportunity to be part of 5G Innovation Hub initiated by IDRBT along with the Department of Telecommunications and Department of Financial Services. We partnered with Kaizen Voice in this innovation, and now we are introducing voice biometric authentication for our mobile banking app. Of all the three authentication systems, such as what you know, what you have, and what you are, the third one is most authentic way as it cannot be passed or misused. Of the biometric what you are authentication technique, voice biometric is one among them. We are authenticating the customer login using the user ID and password in net banking and using customer ID and MPIN with the device binding for mobile banking. In addition to the Face ID, fingerprint biometric based authentication is also provided in mobile banking login. Users across the globe are moving away from the PIN based system to solutions that offer them convenient and fast authentication methods, and biometric solutions such as voice, iris, fingerprint authentication system lead the trend. In continuation of the seamless and secure login process, now we have introduced voice biometric based authentication facility for the customers to log into our mobile banking app, which will be made available to our net banking also, which is under testing. We are rolling out this voice based authentication in our all-in-one mobile banking app as one more feature of login to our customers. The existing authentication methods like user ID PIN, Face ID, fingerprint authentication system and all will continue to be there. This one more way of authentication, the customer can choose any one of these techniques to make their login, and this is an Atmanirbhar solution developed by partnering with Messrs. Kaizen Voice, and this has undergone several levels of testing like mimicking, recorded voice, etc. And I am also sure this will be another safest method of authentication by our customers. The CUG version of this facility was showcased in IDRBT stall in India Mobile Congress held at Pragati Maidan, New Delhi on 1st October 2022, wherein our Honorable Prime Minister launched 5G. We are proud to announce that we are the first bank in India to offer this facility to the banking customers. Customers need to do one-time registration by registering their voice for about 20 seconds. The system will prompt to agree to the terms and conditions, will also receive an SMS and email regarding confirmation. The customers will have the option to enable the voice biometric, and also they can deregister this option anytime. The 5G network is preferred to use this facility for better customer experience. The main criteria used in validating the voice are the accent of the voice and speed of the voice. We are also sure that the customers will be thrilled to use this method of authentication, which is very simple in terms of enrollment, improved security, and no need to remember the PIN. This method is in compliance with the regulatory RBI guidelines, and I thank you all for patient hearing. And we will be having a small video which probably gives the way how it works. With this, we will be in a position to understand and appreciate how it actually works. Probably, let's say in a later vein, I think most of you would have seen the old Rajinikanth movie of Shivaji, in which he used to authenticate his opening of laptop, and which used to become a very critical moment even in the climax. So this is something similar to that, but the part is that, like say, it is more secured and tested in a better way, and presently it is made available only for the login and not to authenticate the transaction to start with. So this will make the login much easier and probably easier for the customers. With these few words, I once again express my hearty welcome to all the dignitaries on the dais and all of you who have joined us together, and also the dignitaries who are joining through the video conference from Delhi, Hyderabad and other places. And once again, thank you all for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the leading speech here. Now let us join for the significant moment of this product launch. It will be launched by Shri Sudhakar Sir, ITS Deputy Director General, Department of Telecommunications, and requesting our MD and CEO and other dignitaries in the dais to join this moment, please. Thank you so much. Your voice is your password. It is as unique as your fingerprint. So now let's watch a short demo video of our product, please. Please play the video. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause for this great work which we have initiated. Thank you. Requesting Shri Sudhakar Sir, ITS Deputy Director General, Department of Telecommunication, to address the gathering.
Good evening, everyone. Dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and on VC. It gives me immense pleasure to be in this August occasion of launching voice biometric authorization by City Union Bank. Telecommunication has really revolutionized the banking activities, and it's so easy nowadays to do a lot of banking activities through internet and telecom resources. At the same time, we are all faced with so many threats every day. Still, we are not very safe having our money in the banks. And Department of Telecommunications also taking a lot of initiatives to curb the activities of frauds, especially in the telecom side, using telecom resources. Every day we receive so many complaints from the public, and we need to act on hundreds of thousands of complaints. It's becoming a big tough job for all of us. And recently in Department of Telecom we have started using big analytics, big data analytics. It is called TAFCOP, and we analyze our subscriber database. Earlier, all our subscriber database was state-wise we were maintaining. It was very difficult. People used to use their proof of address and identity and take connections in different states. We were not able to track people. They can have as many connections as possible. But recently we have come out with a new technical support team. We are able to now track all the applications throughout India, and more than 9 connections nobody should have as per the earlier instructions. So we are trying to find out who are all having more than 9 connections, and we are able to stop, disconnect the connections which are more than 9. And also we are recently, last week, our department has reduced from 9 to 5. So now more than 5 connections nobody should have in India, but still many people are using fraudulent methods to take more connections. We are trying to attack them through this software, and we are trying to reduce this menace. Recently our department also has formed a new platform, artificial intelligence and digital intelligence units. So now we are able to even take facial recognition software. Therefore, CDAC, we have a database where all the photographs of all the subscribers are being maintained, and we will try to see the same photograph is being used for different names or different address. So that kind of connections which are fraudulently taken, that has been, now we are able to track them. Recently, last month, we received about 50,000, more than 50,000 connections in Tamil Nadu alone being used, like these different photographs and other things. We were able to get those numbers. So we are trying to find out, re-verify and see that these subscribers are genuine or not. So this kind of activities has increased multifold in the telecom recently in our department. So it has become a big menace how to handle these telecom frauds or using telecom resources, how these banking frauds, financial frauds are happening. So this software now jointly developed by our department as through telecom funds, we were able to come out with such a wonderful product. By Kaizen Voice has come out with such a wonderful voice authentication product. I'm sure it's a great boon to us. This will greatly help to have a safe and better way of doing banking activities, and even especially in the people who are in the rural areas are going to be benefited, because this is net banking and mobile banking in cities we are all using, but our rural people are not able to use because they don't even have a smart this thing. So this kind of voice communication can be used as an authenticator. Definitely, this is going to be a big help to help our rural people to do banking online. So I really wish this facility will help all our customers, especially City Union Bank customers, be benefited. Thank you very much for the opportunity you have given to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the influencing speech and supporting us. So now, may I request Shri R.K. Pathak, sir, Deputy Director General, Department of Telecommunication, who has joined us through WebEx to address us, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So, good evening. And this is, I feel humbled and it's pride moment for me, because I think we started this initiative some 3 years back. So I would like to congratulate City Union Bank, their leadership. I can see here Mr. Narayanan, Mr. Dr. Kamapudi, and others, board members, along with my colleagues from Department of Telecommunication, my team, DFS, for joining these events. I could not make it, so I really feel sorry, because this IDRBT use case labs was set up at the first 5G test bed. I would like to just say that when 5G was being launched, then 5G is basically, it's not connectivity, it's connectivity plus compute. So how can we best utilize the compute part also, because connectivity we are all aware of, we are using mobile and we are very happy. So it's 5G all about low latency. So how can low latency can be utilized, compute can be utilized, and we are, Department of Telecommunication is presently working with all the stakeholders, different ministry departments in the government of India, and we are setting similar use case labs. So I'm very happy that the first use case we thought let it be under the fintech, which is very much important for the inclusive growth of the country, and that is the Honorable PM's vision to connect all with this financial inclusion part. And this IDRBT came forward. So I am sure that we'll be bringing more and more products which needs to be promoted by this banking community. So I am very pleased that the first startup, Agent Secure Voice, has come up with the voice authentication. I just realized it's login. I am sure that very soon it will be, once you get the confidence for payment as well. And I think this voice, etc., will make rural banking also something like we are present in the bank itself. So I'm sure that you will take the lead in launching other products as well. So with this, I would like to congratulate the Citibank because taking the lead, City Union Bank, and then IDRBT, my colleagues here, I can see the Dr. Sastri, Abhishek, and DFS fellow that we have been working day and night to take these use cases to the actual ground. So thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I request Dr. V.N. Shastri, Professor and Head 5G Use Case Lab, IDRBT, who has also joined us remotely to address the gathering, please.
Sir, you are not audible.
Sorry. Yeah, namaskar and good evening to all dignitaries on and off the dais and all attendees of this launch event of the CUB. On behalf of 5G Use Case Lab for BFS, we are very happy and proud to see the commercial launch for the voice-related features and voice authentication on the CUB's mobile app. The 5G Use Case Lab at IDRBT, as it was told, it has been set up by the DOT, Department of Telecommunications, Government of India, along with the support of the Department of Financial Services. You see that this event, where you have the representatives of all the three ministries and departments, Department of DOT, Department of Telecommunications, Department of Financial Services, and also METI, which is a very, very rare event, along with the banks and the fintechs and all put together, is a very unique day for all of us. As part of this journey, IRBT came out with a white paper on 5G use case for banks in 2019 and subsequently did a survey with major banks in India to identify what are the use cases that are required by the banks. KSV, the Kaizen Secure Voice, was one among the 15 shortlisted organizations of startups in the open hackathon that we conducted out of the 56 entries that we have received. It is the most active startup among the 5, which is closely working with IDRBT 5G Use Case Lab. Over the past 2.5 years, we have mentored and tested their solution with Telangana Grameen Bank. Learning from those tests have really helped mature the product. KSV and other 4 startups have presented their solutions from IDRBT stalls at the Indian Mobile Congress held at Pragati Maidan, New Delhi in October 2022. Subsequently, with CUB, KSV has carried out multiple customizations to get the solution ready to its present form of launch. I would like to specifically and especially thank DOT and DFS officials, along with our Director of IDRBT, Professor D. Jankiram, who have constantly encouraged and supported us for the India first 5G use case lab setup and the corresponding developments at IDRBT. The lab provides a 5G interoperability testbed environment for startups, fintechs, and banks to test their solutions. Finally, I congratulate the CUB and compliment their entire team for supporting the initiative for public launch. The learnings from it and the feedback from public subsequently would surely help the solution to scale up in near future. And finally, I wish the KSP for many more opportunities to become a youth corp of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. V.N. Shastri, sir. Thank you for all the support which you have provided to us and also for the CUB team. May I now request our MD and CEO to felicitate the dignitaries, please. Let the applause be a little louder, please. Thank you, sir. Now it's time for Sri Rangarajan, sir, veteran and senior domain expert in banking fraternity from IDRBT, who will give us a special address for the gathering.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, I am a retired general manager of Indian Bank, taking care of the IT and digital banking for almost 40 years, and retired in May 2020. Thereafter, I joined IDRBT. IDRBT is a research and development organization for the banking technology created by the Reserve Bank of India. So during my 40 years of service, 20 years I was in IT and 20 years I was in banking and 20 years in IT. So I used in the post demonetization and during the pandemic, there are a lot of thrust on digital payments. People were literally forced to adopt technology. That is why the banking sector and the entire merchant ecosystem, right from the street vendor till the big malls, they are adopting technology. And thanks to our Prime Minister also, the digital vision has been made very clear, and Digital India is our digital vision. But the adoption, because during the IMC in Delhi also he was stressing, the adoption, even though it is up to the expected level, but it has to be 100% like your Jan Dhan Yojana. It has to penetrate deep into the rural areas. See, during the Jan Dhan Yojana, since I am a banker, so during the Jan Dhan Yojana, all the persons, whether it is in the rural area or urban area, they were opened account even with zero balance. Similarly, the facility should be available for the digital transactions even for the rural people also. So the adoption of the rural people, because all your DDG was referring that people in the rural areas, they are not having smartphones and other things. Even initially, if you notice during the demonetization period, even with the star 123 hash, so they were able to, like your star 123 hash, star 99 hash was launched, USSD banking, using the unstructured supplementary data of the telecom services, it was launched. So those were menu driven. So the adoption of menu driven solutions, it was very less because the people are not that much educated. So the adoption will be more if you are going to use the voice. In fact, I was very happy after joining the IDRBT. I was attached to the 5G use case lab, wherein Kaizen Secure Voice, the voice biometric based authentication solution was there. They were mentored by the 5G use case lab. We thought, okay, first we will start, we will allay the fears, we will remove the fears. Even during the my tenure as a GM IT, I used to get a lot of complaints about, sir, I have compromised my password, I have compromised my PIN. So I lost so much of money. The people were aware of adopting the digital technology because there is a potential possibility of, loss of money. It is not only with the rural people or uneducated people. In fact, I have got a case where the Inspector General of Police of Karnataka, that is Bangalore, he called me. Somehow during the meeting somebody has called, I have compromised my OTP and password. Immediately blocked his account. and since he was a DGP, they were able to trace the culprit. So I was thinking something which cannot be compromised has to be provided for authentication purpose, so that the people will not have the fear of doing the digital transactions. The adoption rate will be higher. Why people are averse of doing this? Because they are expecting that some fraud may happen by doing the digital transactions. So definitely, if you are going to think some alternative authentication mechanism, the people adoption will be very good. So here the solution, in fact, they have gone for certification from the NIST, National Institute of Standards in USA also, ISO certificate also they have obtained for this voice biometric authentication. And we have also tested with the mimicry artist, recorded voice, everything we have tested and it was working fine. So it was able to reject the transaction with mimicked voice or recorded voice, and the false positive rate is very, 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 very low. So that is why the adoption will be good. But still, we want to have, since it is the first bank to launch it. In fact, I have to thank Mr. Kamakoti for taking such a risk. Because people will think, why I should be the first person to take the risk. But he is bold enough, because as he said, everywhere he was first. Even UPI based. See, during the pandemic, people were having the fear of touching even the numeric keypad in the ATM for withdrawing the money. So he has introduced UPI based cash withdrawal. No need to touch, because you are going to touch only your device. Because UPI means you are going to scan the QR code on the ATM, which is becoming on the ATM, and you are going to enter the PIN there only. So there is no risk involved, even the health wise also there is no risk. So UPI based solution he has given for cash ATM. So we'll go one step ahead. So this is only a beginning. Voice biometric authentication as a third factor authentication for your net and mobile banking is only a first step. Now we are starting only with the login. So with the level of content, in fact, even this login also for the last 3 months we are doing the, last 6 months we are doing the CUG. CUG means it's a closed user group. Since basically I am a banker, I was sitting with their IT team and also their startup. And we have ensured, CUG means within the staff members, the transactions, the login were done, everything in the live environment. Because we want to simulate the transactions in the live environment, we should not face any challenge. We should not give problem to any of our customers. So that was our intention. That is why it has been tested thoroughly and it has been done. So this slowly it will be extended. Once you get the confidence, definitely it will be extended to the transactions also. It doesn't stop there. Slowly, as the vision of Prime Minister, it should be completely voice-based banking. So like when I'm going to the shop and I'm asking, okay, I want 1 kilo aloo. So they are giving me 1 kilo aloo, I'm giving the money. So like that, my transactions to the bank also, I should take my mobile, switch on my application, or I can connect to my IVR even for the people who do not have our smartphone. We will be providing a toll-free number. They can simply dial that number. Using the IVR solution, we should be in a position to transfer the money or deliver the money at their doorsteps. All these things are possible with voice authentication, because it is a combination of two things. One is voice recognition, second is voice authentication. Here another biggest advantage of the solution is, whatever the voice you are giving, it is language agnostics, text agnostics. That is, at the time of registration, you have seen, at the time of registration, your exact, whatever you are talking is not stored. Whatever you are talking, the features of your talk, that is, features of your voice, that is getting stored. So when you are talking again, the features are extracted and both these are compared. That is why it doesn't require the same text to be talked for subsequent authentication of the transaction. The same language is to be talked for subsequent to the transactions. So the facility is language agnostics and text agnostics. That is the biggest advantage. So with that, what we are planning, even in rural areas, we will be in a position to provide cash at home. Now the Uber or your Zomato, all these people are delivering food at home. In the same patient, the government has given DBT now for the credit of their account. But for the withdrawal of the money, the people, the rural people, they have to go either to the ATM or to the branch or to the banking correspondents. So there are some restrictions of time or distance of travel. So all these things can be avoided. We are going to tie up the local merchants for this payment system. And once the merchant also will be registered and the customer also will be registered, simply customer has to talk, I want 5,000 rupees. He has to simply dial, even he need not talk. He has to simply dial a toll-free number of City Union Bank. So he will be able to, the IVR solution will itself, it will ask how much you want. Amount he has to tell, PIN he has to tell, some text he has to read. Or he can talk on his own. Then his voice, everything will be authenticated, money will be delivered by the shopkeeper, and once he has received, money will be held by the bank only. Once he received, and the acknowledgement also will be authenticated by the customer, then only money will be transferred to the shopkeeper's account. So this way we are planning for a bigger thing for the rural people. So those things also slowly it will be implemented in City Union Bank. City Union Bank is the best bank, Rasiana Bank, Easiana Bank. So it is the best bank, easier வேலை செய்யணும்னா ஈஸியா கஸ்டமருக்கு வந்து ஒரு ஈஸியா இருக்கணும்னா சிட்டி பேங்க் தான் போகணும். So that with that intention we are going to make everything easy. So from the even from the basic mobile without any internet connectivity, simply dialing to a toll-free number, you should be in a position to do your entire banking transaction. It's a complete voice journey. No menu-driven things. Authentication, PIN, everything through voice. Multilingual. Everything is handled by combination of an IVR solution and your voice biometric engine. So this is the thing, that vision is there for expansion, and I'm very confident that the City Union Bank will pilot all these things and extend the customers all the services that is required, and they will be the first bank in all the endeavors. I thank you, City Union Bank, for taking the risk and definitely with the participation of City Union Bank, we will be able to, IDRBT will be able to give you the best products always. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed an enthusiastic speech and a visionary speech. So here I would like to say that you have given us a passion to move ahead with bigger goals and bring in a lot of innovations as well. Thank you. So here I would request Shri Vivek sir, co-founder Kaizen Secure Voice, to address the gathering, please, and also to felicitate our dais members.
Good evening, everyone. Being a voice company, I am speechless today. The stalwarts of the banking domain have spoken. Just to pick up from where Mr. Rangarajan left, 1 year back, I can remember a meeting between me, Dr. Shastri, and Rangarajan along with Dr. Abhishek. Vivek, what can you do for City Union Bank? So I told them, just to pick up from their punchline, Rasiana Bank, Isiana Bank, Anagurukumana Bank, City Union Bank. We'll we'll authenticate you under 2 seconds or 5 seconds. So this was taken up as a challenge, and after 1 year of burning midnight oil and being assisted, very special thanks to Mr. Shankaran, who's here, and all my colleagues and the teammates, and a very special thanks to Dr. Kamakodi for putting the trust in Kaizen Secure Voice, being an Indian startup. 5 years passed, 2 patents and very clear intellectual property. Truly this is a Atmanirbhar solution, taking this industry towards the goal of achieving 100% independence. With respect to our digital transactions on the whole and digital financial inclusion on a separate subject, I have very special thanks to DOT for mentoring us, and a very special thanks to Department of Financial Services with whom we will be traveling a long ways with respect to taking all the solutions to the rural Indian public. Today, with pride, we can say, Mera Bharat Mahan hai, you are enrolled. Ki Dada Balo, Ki Kabar, Bangla, you are authenticated. You are authenticated. So we are truly language and text agnostic with respect to authentication. And we assure you, we are a deep tech company. We invest more on research and development. We are mentored by Indian Institute of Science and IIITB Bangalore in terms of our research. We have 2 patents. We are working very specifically on this modus operandi of where, how do you stop deepfakes? So we are working on the possibility of inter-speech variabilities and inter-speaker variabilities away from this regular domain of AI, which is adaptive response theory or a progressive theory. And in due course of time, with due research practices and testing practices, we are 100% sure in any channel, irrespective of it can be a simple idea with a 500 rupee phone, or a 50,000 rupee phone, or a 5 lakh rupee phone, or a call center, or a mobile app with a near field, far field communication area, or it can be a web-based application, or going forward tomorrow it can be a complete different environment such as a connected vehicle. How would you do banking when you're sitting in an autonomous car? This solution is now available on a device like Raspberry Pi. So tomorrow, if City Union Bank thinks that, okay, in the autonomous car, this car should also be available with the banking app, yes, we are ready today. And going forward, as the vision states from Dr. Kamakodi during his AGM speech, going forward on a wearable, if you want this application to run, yes, we are ready. To be available on a system on chip kind of an environment with the same set of features which are available on your massive parallel processing environment, which is your cloud. So I take this opportunity to thank one and everyone for putting your trust on us. We hope to work better and fine-tune the solution and make sure this is a very robust application to authenticate a human being based on his inherent quality, which is his voice. Thank you very much. And I just wanted to thank you everyone.
Thank you, Vivek sir, for felicitating all our guests here. So as we come to the end of our event, of this big launch of Voice Biometric by CUB, let us now stand for National Anthem, please.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Now it is time for our press colleagues requesting our MD and CEO for press release for the question and answer session, and the rest of you can please go for high tea. Thank you so much.
கூத்து நிப்பாட்டு லைவை கட் பண்ணவா இல்லை லைவில் தான் இருக்குது டிஜிட்டலில் போயின்னு சேர்ந்து போயிட்டும் போயிட்டு இதுக்கு ஒரு தடவை தனியாக அனுப்பணுமா லைவ் ஆன்லைன் வச்சுக்கோ ஆன்லைன் அப்படி சேர்த்து ஒரே பையன்
Sure.
Thank you. Ready?
கும்பகோணத்தை தலைமையிடமாக கொண்டு இயங்கும் சிட்டி யூனியன் வங்கியானது தமிழ்நாட்டிலேயே இந்தியாவிலேயே மிகவும் பழமையான லிஸ்டட் பிரைவேட் செக்டார் வங்கியாகும். தன்னுடைய டெக்னாலஜி பேஸ்டு சர்வீசஸ்க்காக இன்டர்நெட் பேங்கிங் அண்ட் மொபைல் பேங்கிங் சர்வீசஸை ரொம்ப காலமாக நடத்தி கொண்டு வருகிறது. பல்வேறு புதிய இன்னோவேஷன்ஸையும் இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் செய்து கொண்டு வருகிறது. முதலாக சிட்டி யூனியன் பேங்கினுடைய ஆல் இன் ஒன் மொபைல் ஆப்பில் சாட்பாட் முறையில் அந்த ஆர்டிஃபிஷியல் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ் அண்ட் மெஷின் லேர்னிங் முறையில் கஸ்டமர்கள் கேட்கும் கேள்விகளுக்கு பதில் சொல்லும் வசதியை முதலாக ஏற்படுத்தி கொடுத்தோம். அதை போல இப்பொழுது தொடர்ச்சியாக வாய்ஸ் பேஸ்ட் ஆத்தென்டிகேஷன் டெக்னிக்கை இன்று அனௌன்ஸ் செய்துள்ளோம். ஒரு வாடிக்கையாளர் தன்னுடைய மொபைல் பேங்கிங்கில் லாகின் செய்வதற்கு முதலாக அதில் என்ரோல் செய்து கொண்டு தன்னுடைய குரலை பதிவு செய்து கொண்டு வைத்தால் அந்த பதிவை திரும்ப அதாவது தன்னுடைய குரல் மூலமாக லாகின் செய்வதற்குண்டான இப்பொழுது ஃபெசிலிட்டி இப்பொழுது ஏற்படுத்தப்பட்டுள்ளது. இந்த செயலி மூலம் இது டெக்ஸ்ட் அக்னாஸ்டிக், லாங்குவேஜ் அக்னாஸ்டிக் என்று சொல்லப்படுவது போல் எந்த மொழியில் வேணாலும் பேசலாம், எந்த விஷயங்களை வேணாலும் அதில் சொல்லலாம். இது முன்னால் ரெக்கார்ட் செய்த அதே விஷயத்தை தான் திருப்பி சொல்ல வேண்டும் என்ற கட்டாயம் இல்லை. பேசியதிலிருந்து அந்த ஒவ்வொருடைய குரலில் உள்ள பயோமெட்ரிக்கினுடைய இம்பார்ட்டண்ட் விஷயங்களை அது ரெக்கார்ட் செய்து கொண்டு குரலில் இருக்கும் அந்த பேட்டர்னை ரெகக்னைஸ் செய்து இந்த லாகினை ஏற்படுத்தும். இது மிகவும் பாதுகாப்பானது. எவ்வாறு ரேகை மற்றும் ஐரிஸ் போன்ற விழிப்படலம் போன்றவை ஒரு பயோமெட்ரிக் ஆத்தென்டிகேஷன் முறையில் வேலை செய்கிறதோ அதே போல குரலும் வேலை செய்கிறது. இது மிகவும் எளிதானது. இதற்கு முன்னர் நாங்கள் இதில் வாட்ச் பேஸ்ட் கிரெடிட் கார்டு மற்றும் கீ செயின் பேஸ்ட் கிரெடிட் கார்டை இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் செய்தோம். அதன் மூலியமாக நியர் ஃபீல்டு டெக்னாலஜி மூலமாக பாஸ் மிஷினில் கார்டு இல்லாமலேயே டிரான்சாக்ஷன் செய்யும் வசதிகளையும் ஏற்படுத்தி கொடுத்தோம். ஸோ தொடர்ச்சியாக புது டெக்னாலஜி பேஸ்டு சர்வீசஸை வாடிக்கையாளர்களிடம் கொண்டு சேர்ப்பதற்கு சிட்டி யூனியன் வங்கி தன்னாலான முயற்சிகளை எடுத்து வருகிறது. நன்றி. இது நீங்கள் அதாவது நீங்கள் இப்போது இது வாய்ஸ் பேஸ்டோட இது ஒரு முக்கியமான சமாச்சாரம் என்னன்னாக்கா, நீங்கள் ஒரு இப்போ நம்பரை டச் பண்ணுறதோ வெறுமனை நீங்கள் வேறு ஏதோ செஞ்சு கொண்டு இருக்கிற போதே நீங்கள் லாகின் பண்ணுவதற்கு உங்களோட குரலை பதிவு செய்தால் அது லாகின் ஆகிடும். இது இட் இஸ் மேக்கிங் தி பேங்கிங் ஈஸி. தட்ஸ் ஆல். தேங்க்யூ.